prickly fibers of fabric that are slowly untwining from the hammock's rope below stick into my skin so slightly that I feel it, but it does not hurt. A cool breeze whisks across my body, cooling me down from the scorching summer sun. The tree branches above me spin and climb and intertwine, and the feeling of never-ending bliss hangs in the air. Then suddenly a flash, a moment, a question. Who am I? It lingers for a moment, floats, like if you tossed a feather in the air, and it slowly pans down, changing direction just enough so you think it might land somewhere else. The moment seems to slow down, and I cannot peel my eyes away as the question hits the ground. In 8th grade, an old friend of mine asked how I was so happy all the time. I was shocked. I really wasn't happy at all. Rather, I was wrapped completely in the fact that others could perceive me, and I stayed up late wondering how they did so. When she asked me that question, I was completely and utterly shaken. "How are you so happy all the time?" she had asked. All I could do was smile and shrug. So who am I? Am I the girl that is happy all the time? The one who never stops smiling and laughing and making others laugh, and who hugs and comforts and holds? Or am I the girl who is often sad in her room alone at night, listening to mind-numbing music that drowns out all of her thoughts and feelings until her head starts to pool over with this aching sadness that consumes her? Am I the second choice? Do my friends only go to me when they have no one else around? The last one to be picked, to be held, comforted, loved? Perhaps I am all of these things. What of that? What impact am I making as the sappy second choice? My body is my own, but I seem to leave it and float above the heads of others, trying to be let into their minds, their souls. I have never found my home. Some assume that my home is the stage, but I have always shaken behind the curtain. I have always forgotten how to breathe right before I step out onto that raised black platform that I know so well, one that still doesn't feel safe. I perform, and while doing so, I hold in my tears and my fright until I am done. In the dressing room or in my car when I am all alone, I let it out. Crying or yelling, I let it out until I am no longer afraid. When I am on the stage, singing, performing, what does the audience see? I wonder whether I am the talented girl of their dreams, who fulfills their every wish in giving a true, real performance. Am I giving them a good show? Or perhaps I am the girl who could have done better. Perhaps I was just all right. Did they notice the slight crack in my voice on the high note? Did they notice when I skipped a line? I ruined the beat. I didn't keep the effortless and smooth flow of the pentameter. Did they see when I slipped just then on the set stairs? Did they see me? What about when I cheer? I flit effortlessly through the air. I float, I fly. When they watch me smile and yell under the lights, do they see the tears that stain my cheeks? Do they see how my pools of sadness have been leaking? I am so scared at the idea of them seeing me. Yet there I stand, performing. So who am I? Once a boy said to me, "You're a strange girl, Maria." We had been sitting in a lone cabin, friends outside by the fire. We were stargazing out the cabin's window, searching for the constellations we could connect to, searching for any feeling of home in the vast abyss above our heads. He had his arm around me in a protective way while we looked, protecting me from what I didn't know. Maybe he was just as scared as I was to be looking up at that big black sky, wondering what was ahead in our lives. Maybe he just wanted to protect me from the world. Why is that? I asked. Why? Why does he think I am strange? I had done everything to make him think I was normal. Why am I strange? Why did he choose the word strange? You have a habit of finding broken people, he said. Oh. We sat there for a while, in that lonesome cabin up north. I had driven almost 5 hours by myself to get there, and the entire time I hoped the hours would go by faster, that I could see my friends soon. Yet when I got there, a beautiful lake behind a large log cabin, I just wanted to go home. I loved my friends, but the constant laughing and smiling and the ignorance of anything real just made me sick. They would get mad at one another, but instead of talking through it, they would talk about it behind each other's backs. And then they would just sit and smile. I wondered if they did the same to me. I spent the whole time thinking about what I could do to make them like me more, overthinking every little movement and sentence. Strange. Who am I? A strange girl, a girl who relies on tables with uneven legs, and counters with cracks, and who jumps on thin and unstable floors. Broken things, broken people. I rely on them to keep me upright, trust them, and then I fall. Maybe I should be more wary of the height below the cracks. My grandparents arranged it so their kids and grandkids could spend a whole week in Wyoming for their 50th anniversary. We spent those summer days out there in the sun, hiking, horseback riding, rolling down the massive hills that encapsulated the resort. On one of our final days there, we went on a ropes course. We got all hooked up and went through the first level, and the course was so easy at first I felt invincible. Then the levels got higher up, more difficult, more scary. Towards the 10th level, I had started to get nervous. I was so high above the ground, and the invincibility I had when first starting had begun to wear off. Standing atop a platform, it seemed as though the drop below my feet was thousands of miles, and my imminent death awaited me if I even dared to swing across. I was shaken. I forgot how to breathe. I made eye contact with my dad, who had been helping me and cheering me on throughout the last 9 levels of the ropes course, and then the tears really started to flow. I didn't want to stop or give up, but I knew I couldn't go on. I was a failure. Somehow, giving up in that moment was even more terrifying than the death I had imagined for myself just moments before. My dad took his sweet time comforting me and eventually coaxed me down. He hugged me and reminded me how I had been so brave thus far, that I wasn't a failure. He was so proud of me. He said he was so proud. And yet, I couldn't shake the feeling of guilt, that I had wasted an opportunity, money, my father's time. My older sisters pushed on and made it 3 times longer than I did. Why couldn't I have gone on? I still have that feeling today, the regret of not moving forward. Such a simple moment, such a fleeting, innocent moment that has clung to me like a wet blanket on a hot summer day. Why didn't I move forward? Why was I so scared? Now, no matter how terrified or tired or exhausted I am, I have since made it my mission to keep pushing on, to move forward. I will find the time. I have to keep pushing on. I will never say no. Maybe that makes me strange. Is that a bad thing? No. Strange doesn't necessarily mean bad, not all the time. I am a cheerleader. I float, I flit. I smile and I cry under the Friday night lights that are so intensely glorified it's hard to see anything bad when you stand underneath them. They shine so, so bright. I am okay. That is okay. I am a performer. I try my best, and sometimes the audience doesn't like it. Sometimes they do. I am okay. That is okay. I am afraid of heights and of getting hurt. I am afraid to move on. I am afraid of change. The past is in the past, and the regrets fill up my memories. I wish I had done so much more. I didn't. I still feel as though I don't do enough. I am okay. That is okay. So who am I? I wake up on that hammock, the breeze shifting through my hair and swinging the rope I lay upon ever so slightly. I had always wanted to be someone new, someone different. I had so many regrets, so many ideas, so many things that never took hold. Before, I had wished more than anything to be rid of the things that made me who I am. I knew at that moment, listening to children's laughter far in the distance and the waves crashing against the sandy shore, if I was someone else entirely, the little things only I noticed would be gone. Feelings I thought no one else experienced, they would be gone. The love I have to give, the love I feel and am desperate for, it would all be gone. And maybe the world would be a little less colorful. So I wake up, and I tell myself that I can be true and real and me, and that is okay. I am okay.